Auntie. Hello, listeners.
Hey, listeners, welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. And today is Tuesday, December 3rd. So we're going to get started in the next couple of minutes, of course. And do you see one little update that the quote unquote has been changed to Jumbotron?
The the what now?
The nest. So we're not sharing to the nest anymore. We're sharing to the Jumbotron.
Oh no. Uh, okay. Whatever that means. Hey, well.
No, and Happy was telling me that she was actually like fighting to call it because they were okay with the nest, but Happy really wanted Jumbotron. Kind of like a nod to the cohorts, and that's what we've been calling the spaces when we
Okay.
share something in spaces. So yeah.
Well, yeah. The nest is a Twitter term. I get it.
Hmm. Well, hi, favorite Taurus.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Afternoon.
So I think y'all will be relieved to know that there's actually no updated Diddy news today.
Oh my gosh.
Like none. I was looking for like even a little slither, like any Diddy adjacent news. Well, other than like, people from that attorney Tony Busby, a lot of those people are coming forward and talking about like being at the parties and stuff. But no, we don't want to hear that. We can already imagine what's been going on in the parties. We want to hear the tea, honey.
Yeah, he made all those promises. Oh, we're gonna find out and release names and. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Calvin, hi boo.
What's up, Calvin?
And chill, your blackout photo, honey, gets me every time. You had that that chat confused, girl. Like, wait a minute, chill. What's wrong with you? I'm like, y'all ain't never seen nobody black out their profile picture before.
Well, especially I guess not me.
I guess.
They just knowing it was a mistake. But no, no, this is the back of my iPhone case.
Oh, is it okay? I just thought it was just like a
Mm-hmm.
a blank black picture.
No, I took a picture. I have a folding case and I just folded it, because when you open it to take a picture, you can't have. Usually I keep it tucked behind the phone, right? So I just took a picture that way
Ooh, and
because I don't have X having access to my photos, so I had to take one.
oh yeah.
Hmm. So that's what it is. And I
Well,
see people big up in the McRib over there on the blue sky. Are you responsible for that?
I'm not, but I am excited to see. I'm like, you know what? This might be my tribe right here.
I've seen like three people post that sandwich and it had nothing to do with you. And I'm like, something is amiss over here.
Calvin said, "Let me head back to Twitter." Child, they have been roasting me on Twitter about that McRib since '09. So it's
Uh,
it's just it's kind of refreshing to go onto another site and see like people like, oh, I love the McRib. I'm like, wait, I love it too. Oh my God.
Even one of the guys I follow, he's a hematology and oncology doctor, and I just never expected him to post that the McRib is the best thing McDonald's ever invented. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, girl, it's something about it. Like we are very much aware because people be telling us, like they have been telling us for years what's in it. It's not real pork. It's yoga mat. It's this. It's that. And anybody who loves a McRib, honey, we don't give not one damn.
I
Not.
know. I almost want to try it.
I think you should just like look. You see, Calvin said I tried it for the first time last year, and no,
And
ma'am.
don't do it, Calvin.
Hey, that reminds me of my sister. My sister had it for the first time in 2020 because she never tried it before, but she saw me raving about it, so she's like, "Let me just try to see." And I ended up buying it for her because I'm like, if you don't like it, then you wouldn't waste
Yeah.
any money. So
Mm.
sure enough, me and her was just having a conversation, and she took a bite out of the sandwich like mid talk, and she was like, "Yeah, Derek," and da 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 da. And spit it out. She said it tastes like rubber with barbecue sauce.
Oh my God.
And
Okay, well, that is tempering my temptation a lot. I don't think I'll try.
No, see, I don't think it's for you, honey. Especially the way you raving over that smart butter, that smart balance butter. Mm-mm.
Oh,
I, mm,
baby.
so I know you ain't gonna eat no fake meat.
Mm. Oh no. Mm-mm. No, thank you. I could make a McRib though. I mean, it's
Well,
the theory is sound, just where it's coming from.
well, I know I said I'm scared of Houston, honey, but if I hear you out here making McRibs, honey, you will hear a knock at your door very soon.
What's up,
Oh,
Benji?
hey, Benji Boo. Let's get started with the tea, honey.
Tea time.
Yes. Now, this first story, honey, is crazy. So, are y'all familiar with the actor Malcolm Barrett?
What is he? What does he act in?
So, he was in The Boys. He was in Average Joe. Hold on, maybe if I post this picture, you'll see what he looks like.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
So, he is currently he's been accused of sexual assault, and he's under investigation.
Another one.
It says law enforcement sources tell TMZ a woman contacted the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department last weekend, claiming that after a night of drinking with Malcolm, she woke up in bed finding him touching her, and then she claims the actor had sex with her against her will. So these two people, they were, according to this, they were friends. It says, according to our sources, the woman told deputies that she and Barrett had been friends for months, and the night started off pretty normal with drinks in LA, with drinks continuing at his place before the alleged assault. And after filing the report, we're told the woman underwent a sexual assault kit, and the LASD Special Victims Bureau is now handling the case. As of now, no arrests have been made, and the investigation is still ongoing. And TMZ has contacted Malcolm's reps for comments, but so far no word back.
Mm.
So Malcolm out here being a creep.
Child, it's too much.
Mhm. And I really, really liked his role. I don't know if y'all ever seen Average Joe. It comes on it's a BET Plus show
I didn't
that
watch it.
stars Dion Cole.
It's on another service too.
The regular BET channel, they just started playing it on regular TV. I hate when they do that. Well, anyway, he plays the main character's brother. So
Okay.
I actually like his character a lot on the show. But hun, after seeing it, and then they're about to start filming the second season of Average Joe early in the next year, like in January or so. I think they're going
Mm-hmm.
to be going to did he say Vancouver? I think Dion Cole said they're going to be filming in Vancouver. But I have a feeling, honey, after this news, his character might be getting killed off or something. 'Cause,
This is this is getting real sickening. It seems to be a thing with men and men of all ethnicities and races, whatever. I've noticed that on that other platform, the trolls have not only done what they've been doing, calling people ignorant and making fun of people, but the things that they're saying to women. Just on one woman posted that she had finished her PhD and had a picture of her, book that they make,
mm-hmm.
and the posts that were under there were so misogynistic and threatening, like rape, and I think it's a war on women, especially now that that man has won. It's not only against immigrants. Women are under fire. They always have been. But now
Mm-hmm.
these men think that they have some kind of agency over women. Like they really want us in the kitchen and barefoot and pregnant. Like they don't want us to vote. They don't want us to do anything. And it's showing. It's really
Hmm.
terrible.
I agree 200%, honey. And after that pretty much what how Trump done packed the Supreme Court with racist ass Supreme Court justices who worked. I mean, they like people say they played a long game. They were really playing a long game because not
Yep.
only did they take away women's rights to choose, they took away
Yep.
affirmative action.
Yep.
So yeah.
And they coming after gay rights
Hmm.
next. They coming after rights in general.
Yes, indeed.
And I don't know that we'll be able to change anything. I mean, even the states, like the Congress in the state was flipped to Democrats. But before the Republicans leave office, they're stripping the governor and the court system of a lot of power. Like they can't undo things. They have no power of veto, things that a normal, governor would have. They're trying to strip all those powers before they
Hmm.
take office. And I'm like, oh, that's why God slid all that shit down the mountain. Okay, these
Right.
these people are evil. They are so evil. It's mind boggling, and it's a plan. It's a bigger plan than what we know, but there's way more to it than what we can see.
Oh, absolutely. Way more, just like way more too that we can see. But and honestly, I don't. As much as we fight and all this, I don't think anything is going to change unless people start doing what Jane Fonda said on The View. So unless people start losing lives, honey, we're not gonna be taken seriously. I hate to say that, and I definitely hate saying it on the recorded space. But
Well,
unless people start getting killed, like they said, like some assassinations start happening, it's gonna
yeah,
get worse.
it will. It will.
I'm just not gonna be doing the killing. I just want to make sure I say that out loud. I'm not killing anybody.
Well, but I mean, I could see us degenerating into that kind of, like it happens in other countries. They're not happy with politicians. Somebody, we'll kill them. It happens all the time. It's not our history, but we of course we've had assassinations, but in general, like protests and assassinations, um, just the way they will get out unified and protest against what they don't like. We don't do that here as well. I
Right.
mean, we had the Black Lives Matter movement and so forth, but in general, protests just aren't that widespread here. But as things change, maybe that'll change too.
We can only hope. That's all we have, right? Hope.
Really, hope and a prayer, honey.
Somebody else who has hope and a prayer, honey, is Roddy Rich. Are y'all familiar with him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he misplaced his Grammy. His Grammy was found in a storage unit, and now people are trying to the people who found it are trying to extort him for that Grammy so he can get it back. And y'all see, I just shared a link on slide 3. In the headline, Roddy Rich claims YouTuber tried to extort him over lost Grammy. And this is a mess. And then when I was reading the story, I'm like, how do you lose your Grammy? Like that's just
Well, I guess
it's
if
so
you,
irresponsible. But he said stuff like that got into coma. What'd you say, honey?
I was gonna say, I guess if you're moving around, you're not in one place. You put it in storage, but to lose track of it, like where it is, and the person only could buy it because they stopped paying the storage fees. Like to lose track of it that way,
Mm-hmm.
stop paying for the storage, and your Grammys in there. I don't know. Would you? Let's take a poll. Poll time. He offered 20 grand. Would
Where
you
is the
pay
poll? Did
50?
she?
Did she remove it?
No, nope. I had to find this on the jumbotron.
Okay. Would you give him 50K to get your Grammy back?
YouTuber. And I'm gonna make sure I put lost Grammy Awards so that way we can be specific. Yes. No.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I actually had to think about that. But yeah. Oh, Will has his hand up.
I have a very controversial take in regards to this whole thing. Like the majority of like these new age YouTubers and streamers are like parasites to the entertainment industry at large. So it's not beyond me that someone who considers themselves to be a YouTuber would go to these lengths or extents to like extort people, which is absolutely fucking stupid. Um, I voted no for the simple fact that even though the ornamentation of the award is not in his possession, that record book still has his name in it. And he
Mm-hmm.
also has the certificate as well. So it's like, okay, you can have the physical Grammy, but ultimately it doesn't mean or is worth much of anything. We see artists talk about it all the time. Like the dancing lady, she keeps her award in a storage unit. It's not even in her home. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like at what point or at what cost will people like this parasite of a YouTuber come to the realization that you can't erase their contribution even though you have their physical award? I just think it's dumb. So no, they could. I would definitely not give them $5 of my money or for an award. If anything, I would contact the Grammys and see if they can make me a replica. Same,
If
same.
I wanted it, yeah, that
Yep.
bad, I wouldn't even give him the 20 that he offered. To be honest, and you're right. That record is recorded. It's there. I I can't even imagine having 25 awards. Even if I had a big house, like where am I going to put all this? It's just a thing, you know. Like I wouldn't pay 50 grand to get it back. Period.
Okay, well, I guess I'm the only the eyeball who voted yes, and now after listening to y'all, I feel like I should have voted no also.
I was
it,
wondering who voted yes.
No,
it,
auntie, that makes sense because you eat chitlins and McRib.
no, because I guess I was thinking as if I was Roddy Rich, like, because quiet as it's kept, he don't really have that many Grammys, so I'm thinking like maybe this is. But then he did go on to say like the Grammy that he won was for that song that he did with Nipsey Hussle. So winning that Grammy was kind of bittersweet for him because Nipsey's not here to share it with him. So
Mm,
yeah, yeah. So after listening to y'all, I feel like I should have voted no.
well, we'll see. I don't think he's gonna pay 50 grand for it. Even 20 grand to me is generous. You know, for
Hmm.
the person that wants the money, they better take it.
Ooh, y'all know this next story is messy, honey. So y'all are familiar with Drea Michelle.
No,
Yep,
Ooh.
you know
Well,
who that is. Will.
I don't. The name doesn't ring a bell at all. If I'm being honest.
oh, Calvin said he's not either. Well, long story short, she was a I don't want to call her a groupie, but she was one of those girls that used to follow around the celebrities and stuff and kind of be she was linked to Chris Brown. She was linked to a few basketball players. And she even had a little run on Basketball Wives LA.
Mm-hmm.
She there was a story about her. Y'all may have heard this, but she because she was working like in nightlife as a stripper and stuff, she left her son at home. And the police found that they came and found that the son was at home by himself, and the only thing he had to like to sustain himself was the microwavable meals and stuff like that. It was a real crazy story.
How old is that boy?
At the time, I think they said he was like 9 or something. Don't quote me though. But
Yeah.
I believe he was really young. I know that much. Well, anyway, Drea's she actually had an ex, Tyrod Taylor. They used to play for the Jets. Y'all know I don't know anything
Yeah,
about sports ball. This is what I was reading about him.
right.
But he is actually suing her ass honey to get her out of his house.
Huh? That's the one.
Uh-huh. And I'm about to
That's the one she had the baby for. Because I know she's
no,
got a.
nope.
That's not the same guy. Okay, because she's got a young kid.
Mm-hmm. So the reason that this is messy is because so she actually dated Tyrod briefly. They both like they met in 2020, dated, but then also broke up in 2020 as well. But while they were together, they had an arrangement to where she offered to buy the house that she was staying in, they got it together. Is in his name. She offered like $2.8 million. He was like, no, I want 3 million or whatever. And she was like, okay, well that's cool. And I got some renovations. I put some renovations, so that'll be counted towards the purchase of the home as well. She started dating another guy, Jalen. What's his name? Jalen Some. It's not Jalen Hurts because I know who that is. Well, anyway, the man's name is Jalen, and when she started dating Jalen, that's when Tyrod was like, "Well, you know what? I don't want to sell you this house no more." So, and
Mhm.
Dre was like, "Well, wait a minute, you can't do that. We had an agreement." So anyway, while she was how this story ended up being messy, while she was away on business, Drea's nanny was there with the kids because she has 3 kids now, total of 3 kids now.
Mm-hmm.
And Drea's nanny was there with the 3 kids. He called the sheriffs on them to come and get them out, the nanny plus the 3 kids out of the house while she was away.
Oh wow,
M- Messy.
wow.
Oop, go ahead, Will.
Okay, now that I see her face, I do remember who she is now.
I knew you
Um,
would.
yeah, it's not surprising to me at all. She does look like a bird after all.
Oh,
But the people have to be really careful, especially in California. Like after a person occupies a residence for a certain amount of time, they're considered a resident. You
Hmm.
know, so I'm not sure what the implications of him actually calling the cops would do. Like, if anything, it kind of highlights the fact that he wants her out of the house. However, they still have to go through the court proceedings in order to have it legally binding that she has to vacate the premises. And I'm also not fully prepared. I don't think he's fully prepared in the event that he is not able to evict her at all, and that could take months. So if
hmm.
anything he could do is terrorize the hell out of her in hopes that she's leaving, but most likely she's not. So I mean, he's gonna have to hold that L until the judge says to throw a throw a deep pass of the L back to her. That's a sports ball reference, Auntie. So that she can actually get the fuck out of his house. So I mean, he deserves it, and she does too, because they both dumb as hell.
I'm kind of shocked
Mhm.
that they did they if they remove the nanny and the children. Like they can't just evict people like that based on his word with no papers, no court order, no. He just called the sheriff to come get him out. That doesn't even make
Mhm.
legal sense that he could do that. I don't see a sheriff doing that.
Yep. Like he would be borderline like she could well, this is a record line, I don't but she could have a defense in her for like emotional distress and he's terrorizing me and that like
Hmm.
he's not helping his case at all by pulling these types of stunts and shows. Like well, I guess he got hit in the head too many times because he's just not very smart at all. That's not a good move.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we agree. I thought it was just messy, 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 all of it. I love messy straight people business.
Yeah, you can't even evict. What do you call those squatters? Even if she had no rights to the property, can't just call the cops and just put them out. I mean, they're trying to change those laws because people use that squatting to, claim your property. Generally, people have to pay them to get out because it takes so long to go through the courts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's crazy if they really did remove them.
Yeah, and California is the worst state when it comes to like providing squatters with rights. It's
Hmm.
excuse me, it's stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's really too crazy, which is why they're trying to change it. I know they did some things here because people were bringing that here, come up with a fake lease and all that crap if the cops come. And yeah, people, Texans wasn't going for that. But anyway, welcome, Chris. Happy Marcia.
Hey y'all. And I was actually gonna share a story about that. About y'all know what's that, Jenna Bush? Was that Jenna Bush Hager from Hoda and Jenna?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Jenna said that when she first got to NBC, they actually told her they banned her from saying "Hey y'all" on the air. I said,
Why?
"Oh Lord, I wouldn't make it. Good Lord," because I'm always telling somebody "Hey y'all," but they was just like, "Yeah, y'all doesn't resonate with everyone." So I'm like, I guess it
Mm.
don't.
That's so Texas though. Like, Southern. Hey y'all.
It's very southern because honey, we say it all the time in Carolina.
Oh, please.
So yeah, they told Jenna she cannot say that while she's on air. And I guess
Like,
if she don't want to mess up that good NBC check, she gonna find something else to say.
I
Like,
mean, I
hello
guess
everyone.
it is a show that's shown around, the USA. So I guess I can understand that y'all is not a, you know, term everybody uses. Okay.
Hmm. Well, Kyrie Irving, you and y'all family, you about to be sued, baby, or is sued. Child, well, it's really just Kyrie Irving because he was trying to do a family retreat. So I just shared a TMZ link on slide 6. And y'all see Kyrie Irving sued after allegedly stiffing health and wellness company out of $390,000.
What in the world?
I was reading this story. I'm like, I'm still confused. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I'm like, okay, this is something. So it says the allegations are all spilled out in a new lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports that was filed on yesterday in New York. And it says the plaintiffs, Elite Mind Solutions, alleged that Kyrie hired them and their high-profile therapist Natasha McCartney in the spring of 2024 to work a family retreat the basketball player was putting on for family and friends, and he put on this retreat from June 28th to July 2nd. Initially, the lawsuit states Irvin had said that he was bringing about only 50 to 60 people. But the plaintiffs alleged that just days before the event began, Irvin informed them that it'll be close to 115 people that he's bringing, and then the suit states that when they arrived at the retreat, he actually ended up bringing around 150 people. Nonetheless, the company claims that in the suit that it performed all of the therapeutic exercises and sessions that they promised. And it says, in addition, the plaintiffs alleged that after someone had tragically died at the event, they performed crisis management services as well as grief counseling. But according to the suit, when the organization sent Irvin invoices totaling 390,710 dollars for the services, he didn't pony up. And he told them that he was going to take care of it, but and they believed him because they've actually worked with him before, and he had an outstanding bill that he took care of again. But they said he didn't pay them for so long they actually had to take legal action.
Wow.
So,
And somebody died. Wow.
and somebody died, so they had to do crisis management and grief counseling.
Mm.
That's why I say I have questions like, okay, how did they die? What the hell is y'all doing at that retreat? I had to look up what kind of retreat it was. So it's like a psychology, sports type of treatment where they said that they try to teach these people to lead with emotional intelligence and stuff.
Wow.
It's all on their website. I'm like, what the hell is because it's giving cult. I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
Why didn't he tell people they had to pay? Why is he footing the bill? Like, invite people, but you got to pay to attend the event. Like,
I'm so
okay.
glad to see I'm not the only one with questions.
Yeah, that's real janky.
Marcia, hey my Jamaican queen.
Hey, Auntie. Jermaine, you don't think he charged them and collect the money?
It's no,
Huh?
because they would have had to pay the event. I mean,
No,
the wellness company. Like,
no, he charged people and he
And he pocketed
collected
the
the
money.
money. Yeah. Cause if
No,
you're
Possibly.
I think
doing
he.
some shit like that, he probably charged them
I don't think
and
so.
then have them. Well, what? Why he ain't paying his bill, Jeremiah? He broke. He ain't
I
got
don't.
no money.
No, he got the money. He just maybe didn't expect the bill to be that big, maybe. But he's got the money. He's currently still playing. He's making big money.
Mm,
It's weird, especially if they've worked with him before and he paid.
yeah. Well, after this, honey, they probably won't be working for him for a very long time.
Not
Oh,
if they
what's
had to
this,
go.
Marcel?
Lunch.
That salad looks good as hell.
Mm-hmm. Lunch. A word that you don't know. Salad.
I know salad.
A word you don't use a lot.
Right, I don't use it a lot, but I know it.
Okay. A word that you go, ooh, a salad. I had a salad 2 weeks ago.
Well, only if it has like the creamy, like anything ranch or anything that looks like a creamy
That
dressing.
rant.
No.
Look here,
Mm-mm.
auntie, 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 auntie.
I
I'm
forgot.
not gonna say
Huh?
nothing because you eat chitlin. End of story. End of this conversation.
That does look good.
And if I can get some chitlins on the salad, honey, with some vinaigrette, girl, I will be
Okay,
in heaven,
Auntie,
right?
enough.
Somebody
Enough.
throw tomatoes, please. Tomato. Okay,
Mm.
we'll throw in the tank. You will. Oh,
Chitlins on the
auntie.
salad. I know you
And I
didn't.
and I told you I asked for another boiled egg, auntie.
She said that
Mm.
salad looks delicious.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say this, I am being very serious. I would rather eat chitlins on my salad than croutons because I can't take nobody's croutons. Keep them
Ew.
nasty little shits away from my salad.
You know, actually, auntie, those croutons aren't good because they can crack your teeth and cause damage and shit.
What
I
kind
just,
of croutons you eat?
girl, I bit down them. There must have been some stale ass old bread they use or old crouton. Cause I know that shit was messing up my teeth. Oof. I'm home today doing all my continuing education. 55. God damn. Hate this.
So
Oh,
Happy said that the salad looks great like a magazine photo, except someone looks it looks like somebody used the fork to clean their teeth.
sure
And then
did, Happy. Surely did.
and then Calvin
Sure.
said your food taste is dot 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 dubious to say the least.
Sure did, Happy. Surely did. I don't know what Calvin's saying. So I'm gonna
You
be
go
nice to
straight to
Calvin.
hell, hammock of hell.
Okay, I don't know what Calvin. Strong communication efforts for healthcare workers improve
Well,
case.
y'all, we got some divorce news coming up, honey.
Who divorcing?
Daddy Yankee and his wife, honey, after being together for 29 years.
I don't know who Daddy Yankee is. Well, blessed be to them.
Well, tell Kev. Kev will know exactly who
I've
he
heard
is.
that
When I
name.
tell you this man has dominated reggaeton for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, M.
Yep, him.
When you say reggaeton and so, okay. Man, 20 something years. I know that them 20 something years they've been separated, then split up. Some shit done happened. Cause let me tell you, being with a fucker for 27 years, shit can get twisted. God
It
damn.
it can, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, cause it's like how can I say this without it sounding anti-Christian? Because what we know about him, he retired from music to like to focus on his spirituality and his Christianity and all of that. And then after this, like a couple of years, then now they're getting a divorce because like when it comes to marriage and stuff, Christians tend to take that very serious, and they don't really rock with divorce like that. So I don't know. It's something is happening, and then there's been rumors that he allegedly has STIs. Now
Not
I don't know if that's true
STI.
or not.
Not STI.
Hmm
Tiffany says she think they've been separated for a long time. So they just finally getting around to the divorce.
Possibly. And I'm sure they probably have been. And these people have been married since they were 17 years old. So yeah. Well, Daddy Yankee is single now. So if anybody's interested. And I know he was looking a little scrumptious in that Dance Ladies video, Will. In Made for Now.
Mm-mm.
And Calvin has also said, I'm not interested. Well, in other marriage news, so somebody who's actually being married alongside, she could actually offer them advice. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank, y'all familiar with her?
Yeah.
Well, she was talking about how her marriage to her husband lasted so long, and basically she said it boils down to her and her husband having separate bedrooms. Why? Because it keeps sex short.
What? She keeps saying short.
Yep, sex don't go because I guess if she feels that they sleep together, then they can go rounds and rounds and rounds. She said she invites him to her room. They do their thing, and she sends him back on his business.
I agree with that. I love that. Get out. Gone. Don't sleep. Get up. Gone to your room. That's a great. I'm telling you, if I get with somebody, that's what I want. Don't we ain't having no two room and all that shit. I want my own shit. You on your side, I'm on my side.
Calvin said, "Does that look like a man who can go rounds?" Look, let me say, you don't want me to answer that question, honey. You don't want me to answer that because you probably not gonna like my answer. Oh, this bitch is a mess. But yeah, Barbara was pretty much saying how like so she never goes to his room, so she would never like go try to initiate sex with him in his room. She says that if he's feeling frisky, then she'll invite him in, but he will never enter her room unless he's invited, which I like. But anywhere else around the house, like the living room, kitchen, and stuff, that's pretty much he can do whatever he wants in that. But when it comes to her room and her sacred space, he has to be invited in, and he's not allowed to stay overnight, according to her. So they do their thing. She likes short sex, and she keep it moving. Go on to your room now, get out, or to the living room, whatever the hell you do, but you can't stay in here.
Well, see, now I have a comment here. If he okay, he can't last that long if sex is short. Because if he could, it would be sex until the sex is over. It's not short because he's not invited in. It's short because he's a 3 minute man.
Okay, touche. Well, that's some of the best 3 minutes he ever had in his life, but I know he loved going in her room, honey.
Lord.
He put the head in and he's finished.
Look here now. All I'm saying is, if you know how to do your Kegel exercise, I know what you're doing. You can have them in and out in 2 minutes. You know.
Girl, that don't work on everybody.
I don't know, cause some of these men, even these young boys, they 30 years old.
How you know?
What
Oh,
in the hell? You 30 years old and making and doing this? You need to go.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
I'm just wondering how you know. That's all.
I mean, I listen to conversations.
Oh, it's what you heard. What you had heard.
I heard.
Okay.
I'm for the streets, Jeremy. I know
Uh-huh.
you know that. Ain't no secrets. I am for the streets.
Okay. Well, good for Barbara.
Good for Bob, right? And we definitely know that Daddy Yankee and his wife didn't, or excuse me, ex-wife now, they didn't have separate rooms. Maybe if they did, they probably would still be together.
A lot of people, I think, married do that because they have different schedules. One may snore loud. I'm all for the separate rooms.
Hmm.
I did that when I was married because we were on totally different schedules. You know, he was awake, I was asleep.
And she probably killed me for telling her business like that. But my grandma and her husband, they have separate rooms.
Yeah, a lot of people do it. Will has his hand up.
This might be a little bit extreme what I'm about to say, but I am all for having separate houses.
I'm
Oh,
okay with that too. Works for me. We can even live in separate states.
You know?
y- you know, the Aries in me, I don't think I'm for that. Only because I need to see what you doing up in that motherfucker. Like you ain't gonna have nobody in that separate house, honey. And I don't know about it. Go sneak somebody up in. No,
Well, no,
You
but you have the ability to go. You don't have to be invited. Like you would have the ability to enter the second home anytime you got ready. See, that's the key to it. You can't wait to be invited, and they can come to your home too. Uh,
okay?
so yeah, no telling when you would pop up. Yeah, not like that. That you have to be
Okay,
invited there. Yeah.
Yeah,
true, true. But I'm
I'm,
still putting a nanny cam up in that bad boy because I don't trust nobody.
Listen to Will. What would you do, Will?
because I'm the type, I need my space with all capital letters. Like, I need my own individual space. I don't want you breathing down my neck all the time. I don't want you touching me all the time. We can play air tag. We can fist bump, what have you. But I'm just the type of person that requires the necessary space for me to recharge. Because as some of y'all know, I don't like people like that. So even if I were to decide to get married, that would be a very special edge case. However, the core foundation of me would still need to remain, and that is I need to be left alone and I need to have my own space. And case in point, I actually know of a I guess I can call him a friend. Well, no, you wouldn't know fuck him. Fuck him. An associate of mine, and their marriage. He and his spouse, they actually live in separate homes in separate cities altogether. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So it can
Hmm.
definitely work. Like, 'cause I'm a firm believer, like how we referred to Daddy Yankee previously. A hot take of mine is like, folks like to use marriage as a form of control. They don't love them people. They just want to control them. So
Hmm.
with that, like, I'm a firm believer that you should be able to make to create whatever environment you deem necessary for your bond, your marriage would have you in order to keep it healthy and to make it long lasting. It don't always look what society says it has to look like.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
if I have
true.
to clock it, I don't want it. If I have to worry about what you're doing when you're not around me, I don't want you. You
Period. I'm
know,
not
if
checking no.
we've decided to be committed and I have to watch you or live in the same house with you to keep you from messing up, no.
Yeah, and that's actually a personal issue that person who feels the need is no shade on T. The person that feels the need to have to watch this person's every move. That's a personal thing that you need to deal with yourself. It has nothing to do with the other person.
Oh, it definitely is. I'm to be the first to admit it. Look, I am still traumatized from dating that Capricorn. So yes, I have to do some work on myself.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't a dig at you, Auntie. Just making that clear.
And it would be okay if it was, because look, it could be. It's very true. So you can't be offended at the truth.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely with chill. Like I'm not checking nobody's phone.
Mm-mm.
I'm not sneaking through nobody's drawers. I'm not doing any of that.
Any
Like
of that.
if I have an inclination that something is up, we could talk about it. And I feel like you're not being truthful. Get the fuck out of my house. Period.
Period. We give you all the rope in the world, but if you hang yourself with it, that's it.
I'm not cutting you down or going to your funeral. Prayers down.
Hmm. Man down, man down.
Now here's a piece of news y'all don't care about. So did y'all know that most, especially Americans, we probably have been saying Daniel. Y'all know Daniel Craig. That's how I said his name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like how you say Americans. I like that. That's nice.
well, yes, we've been. So Craig is actually the is not how you pronounce his name. It's actually Daniel Craig, and he tells this to Stephen Colbert during his show. He was like, "Yeah, y'all been saying." He's like, "My name has a diphthong in it. It's not Craig. It's Craig."
Oh, whatever.
But it sounds the same.
You know what? His mama named him Craig, so I'm gonna call him Craig. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, it sound the same. I don't see it sounding no different.
Hey, listen, I agree. I even had to watch the video clip that was in this article. I shared the article if y'all care to look at it. It's on slide 10. But I actually
Mm-mm.
had to I actually had to listen to the clip like 3 times. I'm like, is there really a difference? And then after the third time, I'm like, okay, there is a slight difference. So I told y'all there was some news y'all weren't gonna care about. Oh no, no, you didn't get what happened with the Capricorn? Did his wife find out about you? No, he did not. And I told you I have changed after gay marriage was legalized in 2012. It at a federal level, I won't sleep with nobody else's husband. And I kept I held on to my promise. How dare you?
Auntie, he is tugging at your wig today.
Okay, I told y'all Calvin be beating me down. Y'all be thinking he's just so sweet and funny and like to put emojis. No, this bitch is a menace.
Well, I stand.
He said when Trump gets in office, you'll be back on the prowl. Can't stand him. Oh, now this next story, I'm glad I had that little laugh because this next story I got to talk about is it's a little serious. It's about Rosie O'Donnell's daughter, and woo, honey, that girl going through it. So I just shared on slide 11 a link from Us Weekly, and y'all see where it says the headline: Rosie O'Donnell's daughter Chelsea arrested again while on bail. And this story, when I was reading this, I was just like, my mouth was because I didn't know she was going through all of this. I really didn't. And the thing, y'all know, I have family that struggled with addiction and stuff. So just reading this kind of, it just made me a little sad. But let's see. According to let's see, Chelsea O'Donnell was arrested for a third time just 5 days after she was bailed out of jail on previous drug charges. Okay, obtained by Us Weekly. A car was pulled over by police due to Chelsea, and she's 27 years old. She was one of the two passengers in the vehicle. The officer asked for any identifying information. Chelsea didn't have any identification on hand. The officer ran her name and her birthday into his system and saw that she was out on bond for drug cases out of Marionette and Oconto County in Wisconsin. And it says Chelsea was previously arrested in September and October and charged with child neglect and drug possession. After running her information, the officer ordered a K9 to conduct a sniff on the car, which resulted in a positive alert. Law enforcement ordered Chelsea and the others in the car to exit the vehicle. And I'm sure, Chill, don't laugh at me because I'm sure I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I'm sure I'm going to pronounce every last one of these medications incorrect. But it said that they found naloxone. It says which could be used to reverse the effects of opiate overdose. Was
Yeah,
found
that's
in the
not
trunk. Clear smoking tested positive for argumentative by authorities. What'd you say, honey?
that's not illegal. Naloxone. They
Okay.
give that out to save addicts. Narcan. That's probably the name you know it by.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Let's see. This webpage don't went blank. Why is you giving me trouble? I think for tomorrow's show, I'm gonna because right now I'm using Microsoft Edge. I think for tomorrow's show, I'm gonna try Google Chrome just to see if I have a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me thinking out loud because I'm trying to let me refresh this page because now I want to go blank when I was in the middle of reading it. But yeah, the last thing I read is what they found the smoking device that she pulled from her bra. It had residue of meth on it. Let me go back to find
Not the
that.
meth.
Hmm.
That
They
stuff
said she
make you
was
ugly.
argumentative with officers
Mm,
and was placed in handcuffs behind her back. But after calming down and becoming cooperative, the restraints removed. Excuse me. Chelsea was turned over to the Marinette County Jail, where she was searched for a second time when authorities found that she was hiding a prescription pill bottle. The bottle included a clear bag of crystal-like substance, a clear bag of hydrocodone, 8 loose hydrocodone pills, 16 lamotrigine pills, plus 1 whole and 3 halves of alprazolam pills. I told you, Chill, I was going to butcher these names.
no, you're doing good. You're doing
But
great.
oh yay! But it says Chelsea faces 5 charges, which includes 2 felony counts of possession of methamphetamine and an additional felony count of possession of narcotic drugs. She was also charged with resisting an officer and possession of drug paraphernalia, which are both misdemeanors.
That's sad.
It really is.
Because when you
And my
start
heart
taking
goes
all
out to
that
Rosie,
stuff,
honey, because I just know that she. Hmm.
well, fuck Rosie, but yeah,
Ooh,
that's you could overdose. You start mixing stuff like that and taking all those different pills and whatnot, stacking that stuff. That's why she had that Narcan, because yeah, that could kill you.
And where was the pill bottle they found at the jail? Where she had that concealed? That was my question. And why wasn't she wearing an ankle monitor?
Well, she's Rosie's
I
daughter.
think she was at the was some that she was on because she was. I saw some in the article that said that she was ordered to stay sober or something like that. I didn't read like the entire detail.
Mm. Will has his hand up.
This is
Yes.
this is not about Chelsea in particular. You know, prayers, sorrows, prayers, get well soon, all that good stuff. However, chill. Why is it fuck Rosie? What she done did?
Rosie is a trumper,
Oh, never
big
mind.
time.
Is she? I did not
What?
know that. But how did I miss that about her?
How did you?
Yes. How did? Oh my God. That is a true surprise to me. Especially you remember how we used to see her on the View and how she's. Yes, I thought Rosie hated Trump too.
Well, wait a minute.
I,
I may
I,
be getting her mixed up with Wait a minute. No, maybe Roseanne Barr is who I'm thinking about.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Okay, that
That-
makes sense. Okay.
Okay, I take
what
it back, Rosie.
did she like Trump?
I don't know. May have misspoke on Rosie.
Yeah, Roseby is like a diehard lesbian. She can't stand the ground Trump Walker. That's why because I remember that from the View.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got her mixed up with that damn Roseanne. Yeah, that's sad. And to see your child, you know, go down that path, and nothing you can do to really help them. They gotta want help. There's
Yep,
nothing you can do.
that is very true. Well, I have 2 more stories. Now this story is for the Gen Xers and the elder millennials. So y'all remember Dan what's his name? Danny Pintaro from Who's the Boss? See, I only watched like a little bit of that show, so I
I
knew
don't.
like Alyssa Milano was on there, Tony Danza and stuff like that. But anyway,
I don't remember that
Danny
person.
he was the young boy that was on there. He played the little brother.
Oh, okay.
He was in a really really bad scooter accident on Thanksgiving night.
Oh,
hmm And y'all see that I just shared a link from Deadline. It says, "Who's the Boss?" alum Danny Pintaro hospitalized after accident undergoes emergency surgery, and says, "If I had waited any longer, I could have died." And he is absolutely right because from what I was reading in this, honey, that scooter accident was the least of his problems. So you know how when one thing happens and then you go to the hospital and they discover like, "Oh, bitch, I'm so glad you're here because baby, we need to talk."
uh huh.
That's pretty much what happened here. So let me
Oh,
Go to the well, pretty much so how I started. He said the bike lane I was riding in was suddenly blocked with cones. I was forced to choose between a van and a pylon. And then he also said the pylons hurt. I have a terrible scrape on my arm, and I was pretty convinced that I had a broken arm. And he felt like his hiatal hernia was acting up. Before long, the pain was so significant across my chest and stomach and muscles and my shoulder muscles that I could barely breathe. It was the worst moment of my life. The actor said that he was taken to the hospital where he was tested, which yielded he had an infection in his bloodstream due to a tear in his stomach lining. So
Oh,
air and stomach exit, etc., were escaping into his abdomen. So he had to undergo that emergency surgery. And he said the procedure went well, and he's now fixed. The pain has pretty much gone away, although he's very sore. They just took the incubation tube out, but I have to leave another tube in my stomach for 3 days to keep removing the acids so as to not upset the stitches and repair they did, which also means that I won't be eating or drinking anything for the next 3 days. They always say this, but it's very true. If I had waited any longer, I could have died. My body was the
mm,
one who told me something was absolutely wrong.
yeah, he was on his way to massive sepsis, and once you hit that, God got to take over, baby.
Hmm.
Yeah, stomach contents. Well, basically, stool. You know, going into your abdomen. That's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, he
Saved his
didn't even
life.
know.
No, he didn't. He knew he was in pain. He didn't know why. I wonder how he got a tear though. Something that's kind of weird. There's an explanation that we don't know.
Hmm. Well, yeah. And our last story that I have for y'all for today. So the founder of the Village People, he's actually okay with Trump using YMCA for his campaign. He decided that because you remember previously he spoke out like a few years ago. Was it 2020 when he did it first and he made like a scene about it, like don't be using my song for your bullshit. But Victor Willis, the founder of the Village People, he says now he kind of changed his tune because he's saying that because of Trump using his song, he did get the right approval for it. He got the licensing to use it, and then the streaming numbers went up because of that. So he was like, I guess when
Mm,
you're looking at it from that way, then yeah. But then he also says, he saw a lot of conservatives and a lot of liberals too calling it a gay anthem. Like, why would Trump use a gay anthem or a gay song for
mm-hmm,
his main song? And he was like, don't be calling it no gay song. And he threatened legal action if people continue to call it a gay song. He did say, however, because the song was co-written by a gay person, he was like he loves the fact that a lot of gays do see this as their anthem, but it's not a gay song.
mm,
Go ahead, Will.
It's a gay song. It's a gay song. It's a gay song. It's a gay anthem. It's a gay song. It's a gay song. It's a gay song.
period.
It's a gay song. It's unfortunate that Mr. Willis would essentially change his tune only because he is benefiting on a very, 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 very minuscule scale from the song being used based upon what this person represents. It's rather disappointing, and based upon his statements, I believe he is not part of the alphabet family,
No,
which which in turn would track considering his demographic and their desire to have proximity to any type of access that his white counterparts has that he does not have. So it tracks, unfortunately. I just want better for my my black male counterparts who are cis and hetero. But you know, it is what it is. I hope he enjoys that $135.75 check. I hope it was worth it.
look, he could go get him a Whopper with cheese, honey.
Yes, that's so fucking sad. But
Yeah, it
it
is.
is what it is.
Like I agree with you. It is what it is. It's kind of like I guess, honey. Whatever you say. And like it look, I also want better for my cis hetero black counterparts, honey. But if they don't start wanting better for themselves, I mean, what can we do?
Just point them. Well, give them a link on Amazon to like the best quality tap shoes.
Oh, oh, oh. Well, well, that was all the tea that I had for y'all today. So before we head out, did y'all have any tea y'all wanted to share or anything I might have missed? Oh, don't all speak at once. Well, y'all, thank
Oh,
y'all for.
I was trying to finish my test. I was trying to finish the last answer, Auntie. So, Auntie,
Mhm.
so that I'm fascinated. I, I don't know what the word I should use, but Will, don't throw no tomatoes at me. I am not fascinated. I'm intrigued on the Diddy story. So what I heard was, I don't know if it's true, that Diddy let me turn this TV down. Diddy his tequila, and they didn't have enough of the plants to make his tequila, and then all these other tequila farms were owned by other company and white people or powerful people, and they had enough plants to do their tequila. So he went over there and made a stink and was cussing and said, "Oh, he gonna do this, that, blah, 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 blah." And them white people was like, "Look, we need to clip his wings." And that's when all his shit starts spilling. And
That that's a good story, but I really don't think it happened that way.
I
And
don't
the
think it
reason,
did either. I don't think it did either. And I was like, we was looking at each other because my kids were like, they're like, "You're white, so you're gonna say some shit like that."
hmm
No, 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 no. It was just his time, just like
and that,
Abercrombie
and do you
Finch.
remember like when the news broke and when that lawsuit, when Cassie first when that lawsuit was first introduced to the public,
Mm.
Diddy was met with a lot of support. Like a lot of people supported that man and even thought Cassie was lying and trying to go up for a money grab. But then until that video was released, that hotel video, that's when a lot of I knew for because I just kind of if you watch even like a season of Making the Band, you could see that Diddy has a narcissistic personality, and that man is an abuser. You could see it on the show, even though he didn't physically put his hands on anybody. The energy was there, so I wasn't surprised by any of it. But it took people that video for them to kind of change their tune. But no, he met. So I don't think that it was in white people in the tequila business trying to sabotage him. He pretty much did that to himself. I think. Oh, but thank you for sharing, Marcia. That was some good tea, girl.
Yeah, and then Auntie, you need to get some on that Abercrombie and Finch nigga. Oh my God, I forgot you were recording. Jesus Lord.
No, what happened with Abercrombie and Fitch?
They got arrested.
No, what? Hold up. Let me go Google this.
Yes, they got arrested a couple of weeks ago for sex trafficking.
Get out of here.
And one of them couldn't get bonded. I don't know if it's the Finch or the Abba.
Girl,
Bonded.
okay, I see it. Former
Mm-hmm.
The what
Abercrombie
now?
Fitch CEO charged with sex trafficking over a dozen victims.
Mm-hmm.
Is,
Yeah.
is this the older white gentleman?
Yep.
Yes. And his
Okay,
partner.
yeah.
Both of
Yeah.
them got arrested. Oh, and another guy. I think it's their like assistant,
Oh,
or maybe that's the sugar dash, the one who whatever. Yeah. Yeah, they got a but so I was like, you need to get the tea on that, Auntie.
Yep, honey. It's right here in this art. It says Mike Jeffries, his partner Matt Smith, and a third man, Jim Jacobson, are accused of operating an international sex trafficking and prostitution business that recruited young men for parties in the U.S. and abroad, according
Mm-hmm.
to a 16 count indictment. Girl, get the heck up out of here.
They've been
Auntie,
doing
the
this for
indictment got
oh, go ahead, Wig. What happened to Wig?
I don't know.
I was just gonna say they've been doing this shit for decades. That's like how Abercrombie and Fitch rose to prominence to begin with. It was him, and at the time of him founding the organization, he was married to a woman, but we all knew he was. I'm bending my wrist right now, and his primary photographer, he would actually target a lot of these young models who were male and identified as straight, and put them in very compromising positions in order to the get the job to be an Abercrombie and Fitch model. And when they refused, they were immediately um, eliminated, or they eliminated themselves from the opportunity to become part of the fold. They have a documentary on it on, I believe it's on Hulu. No, it's either it's on Netflix. It's called White Hot, and it goes into a lot of detail in regards to Jeffries and his very toxic ass ways, and how he would exploit a lot of these young men for his own pleasure, even though he quote unquote identified as a straight man at the time. But yeah, this is
Oh,
nothing
I'm
new.
watching this documentary later tonight, honey. I just looked it up. It's on Netflix, and
Mm.
like you said, it's called White Hot: The Rise and Falls of Abercrombie and Fitch. Baby, maybe because I didn't shop in that store, I had no idea any of this was going on.
What
I
store did you shop
didn't
anyway?
like that store.
Yeah,
Well, it was only for skinny people. I mean,
skinny
Oh,
petite. Yeah, it was
I
that show.
mean,
That
Was
store was
skin.
never for us to begin with.
It wasn't.
no,
Mm-mm.
it was not for us.
Definitely was a certain demographic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I went
onto you.
there one
wow.
you
day.
oh, go ahead, Wig. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she might. Maybe she was talking to somebody else.
Okay. Yeah, Auntie, you'll be gagged. It's a very good watch. It's somewhat triggering, but all in all, it's a very good watch. You will get a lot of good insight behind like the origins of the company, why it always had like a homoerotic leaning sentiment to it and all that stuff. It's a very good doc. But
Hmm.
Jeffries is an absolute fucking creep, and I'm glad he got caught.
The prepubescent look and all that bullshit.
Yes.
Hmm. That goes on in a lot of the media. These powerful people, man, they are the worst. The worst.
Wow. Woo, honey. Thank you, Marcia, for that tea, girl.
Yeah, that was on Twitter a while back. I'm surprised
I
you.
I get maybe because maybe I just kind of let it go over my head because yeah, I didn't even look at that store, honey, when I was in the mall, and just like y'all said, it was for a certain group of people that I'm not, so I ain't had no business going up in that store, even looking in that direction. But no,
Yeah,
I hadn't heard none of this.
Yeah, I went in there one time, Auntie, and I couldn't understand what the little girl was saying. I said, "What she said?" She was like, "Oh, we have walls, and I
So
was
Calvin
like,
asked a good question in the chat. He was like, so Will, do you remember seeing this in the documentary? Because he said, were they sex trafficking black people?
Hell no.
Oh, well,
No. I think in of the many instances, of course, you have like that one or two token black models to appear more diverse than they actually are. So there probably was like maybe one or two, but it was predominantly a very certain aesthetic of like the all American. And when we
mhm.
see all American, we know exactly what they're referring to, and that was their their preferred target of victim.
Very white, no tan, all white.
Yep.
mm, Mm-mm. Good. My concern is slightly diminished. You are a mess, Calvin.
They were white.
Mhm.
No black people. No, 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 black. But they said in the indictment that he was targeting Latinx boys, like
Mm.
going to like the Philippines and Brazil. You know
Yeah.
them country. You know, I was like, well, shit. I guess he must have used up all of the American.
Well, I mean, Abacar, that brand sort of died a while back, didn't it? I mean, it exists, but not as nearly as popular as it was, you know, 15 years ago.
I
Yeah,
think it go ahead, Will.
sorry. No, it definitely had a resurgence like at the start of the pandemic or right before
Oh,
the
did it?
pandemic. They're starting to have a resurgence and to make it a more inclusive brand. However, the name itself is tarnished forever, but it's still around.
Oh, okay.
Now, Happy actually sent me a story in my DMs about uh a Vietnamese woman. It says Vietnam property tycoon Trong My Lan sentenced to death in a whopping $27 billion fraud case. Girl,
Yeah, that's a damn. They don't play.
Like how many times they got to kill it for 27 million?
okay, good lord. I don't mean to laugh, but good gracious. Hold on, I'm
Yeah.
about to share the link that she shared.
Maybe that need to happen over here for all these scammers.
I was just gonna say that, Jermaine. I was just gonna say that we need to bring that shit over here, cause that guy in Miami that ski Medicaid for like 3 billion, and I'm like, how could 100 million? And I'm like, how could you not? How can y'all not see the system missing for the 50, 20 million? That the body count. Look here now.
Damn.
Mhm. In Florida, in Miami, they have a skilled nursing facility.
Well, is it the woman? That's because it's
No,
like,
it's the man. Wait,
no, I'm
wait.
saying in the picture, is that her?
Yep, uh-huh. That's the woman.
Oh, wow.
So
Hmm.
they killed her.
They're going to, and I remember seeing something about her because I was going to talk about it, but I was like, you know what? I don't know enough about this story to because I saw it in my Google News. I was like, I don't know too much about this to really talk about it. But what happened to share was like a good because what the article that I saw initially said that she lost her appeal because she was trying to appeal the death penalty and she ended up losing it. So they are still going to move forward with the death sentence.
That's
So that was
crazy.
the thing that I saw, but I didn't know why. And now I see why. $27 billion. Girl.
27 billion. What she stole for 27 billion? I need to know. Cause I'm like, how they didn't miss the 1 billion?
Oh, honey, it's possible because, and I'm gonna tell you how I know. Because, well, this didn't happen in Vietnam, but it happened in Illinois. And a friend of mine, named Dr. Kelly Richmond Pope, she actually did a documentary. She directed a documentary called All the Queen's Horses. And that woman stole, I want to say, I don't know the exact amount, but it was definitely millions. And I want to say it was like around 10 millions over a certain time period and was pretty much getting away with it because people, she was so good at stealing it that they didn't really realize what the woman was doing until it was too late. But, ooh, honey, so yeah, it happens. Y'all better hope that I don't learn how to scam. 'Cause I'm
Damn, I mean, cause Auntie, she had to be, or maybe she wasn't looking over her shoulder. So I'm telling you, Auntie, when you do shit like that, it's like it gonna catch up on you. I don't care what you say, because something gonna happen. It's like that John Bonet thing. Now, they did, which I didn't know that John Benet Ramsey, that little white girl. I'm like, damn, it's been 30 years and this white girl's still coming back to the news.
Yep. Whole
I'm
new
like,
documentary.
the they did have a DNA on. Oh, it's a white male.
But it don't match nobody
Mm-hmm.
in the family. I think somebody in the neighborhood killed her that knew their home. One of their friends.
Yeah.
I
Do
really
you think the
do.
parents know who did it?
No.
Oh, you
No,
don't?
I don't
But
Because
I
think
think, I
I
so.
mean, I
do.
think it's somebody that they know. I don't know if, they don't know that they know them, but it's somebody that knew that house.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's somebody that knew to come down through the basement and all of that.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
she
think
had
it's
the
somebody that
basement.
they
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
don't think
now,
the parents did it.
now the DNA that we have now, the advancement of DNA, they decide to put that shit on the microscope. But my thing is, it's 30 years. Is that person alive?
Even alive, yeah.
Is he dead?
They gonna run that
Is
through
he?
all the
Is he?
genealogy
Is he?
places.
Yeah. Is he still like? You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
then like, can you imagine that person like, nigga, you thought you was gonna get away? No.
Well, it might have been a young person, the
Yeah,
son
but what I'm
of
saying is now,
one of
I'm
their
saying,
friends,
I'm
somebody.
saying now that they see they're doing this documentary and they're taking the DNA
Yeah.
and testing it against all of that stuff. Like, yes, that's what you get. Mm-hmm. Show. Mm-hmm. I was telling people, I tell people, as I used to tell my ex, no, no, no sleepover, no go to nobody house, nobody coming in the house. I don't know all these people. Take them over to your friend house in the job. Me and my kid, And they used to be like, oh, your wife is so antisocial. Suck your mother. Antisocial under your mother. You hear me? Don't be trying to come and tell me because you have these nasty. I met Jermaine, because every time I look at Puffy mugshot, I'm trying to teach the kids. You see that eye? You see how it look? Anytime you talking to a man and he look like this, run, run, because that's not good. Yes, Will.
No, I agree with Wade because my mother, who's also a Virgo, she is the exact same thing. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. Like in my entire childhood, as it relates to going over to folks' houses or even sleepovers that weren't directly related, like family members, I believe I've only gone to one sleepover that I was allowed to, and that was it because people are insane.
One, Tia and Tiffany. Tiffany, well, it was always Tia. Wanting to go sleepover and then be cry. And I said, you could fall on the floor and have a heart attack. You ain't going. And only one house she was allowed to. And you know how, Will? Because I went and stayed there with her. I sure was in that lady's living room. And she thought I was crazy. And Tia and that little girl are still friends. They were in middle school. And I went over there and I tell her, look, she's been saying she want to, and I've picked up Talia from school for you, and they're very close. But I'm not gonna let my daughter sleep at anybody else. I'm gonna sit in this couch. That's the only way it can happen. Yes, I'll sit in the couch. I bring my own chair. And she said, that's fine. You could, I have the couch pull out. I said, no, no, no. I'll sit in the couch. And I sat up all night with my eyes wide open. The door had to be open so I could see. And, that's the only time. And then eventually, as she got older and I taught her stuff well, that's the only house she had a sleepover at. And that was it. I sure taught her how to use that ratchet knife. Surely did.
You can't even let them sleep at your family's house because
No,
uncles and
can't even.
cousins and
None of
friends.
them.
Mm-mm.
None of them. Because I tell Tia all the time. I said, Tia, if God gave us the vision to look at a person to see how wicked they was, you know how many people would be dead? Do you know that? He didn't do it, so he give us intuition and he give us our sense to use.
Well, he give us a way. I told y'all the way. That's one good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Look at them faces, honey.
Them faces. I tell T and Tiffany. I show them the look, Jermaine, and tell them, you see a man with that look, run.
I told you, girl, when I was watching that documentary, because Kobe had passed away before I met Chill. So but when I saw that documentary and I saw that asymmetrical face, I was like, wait a minute now, whoa! It almost scared me. I was like, okay, I never noticed that about Kobe before.
No,
God
you
rest his
wouldn't
soul.
know if you don't know to look for that. You wouldn't think anything of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to find that study that I read, and I could not find it. I could not find it, and it was so accurate. I'm just surprised that no information exists on it.
You know, Jermaine, I never felt bad when that guy passed away.
What guy?
Kobe.
Oh, Kobe
No.
had for his child and them other
I
people.
felt bad at the daughter, but I was like, mm, I never had a. It was something about him. I didn't know nothing about the look, but it was something about him
He was a rapist.
that was giving. Mm,
Yeah, I
my
didn't care.
spirit, my spirit didn't take him.
Hmm.
My
And that,
spirit didn't
that's
take.
not alleged. Wasn't he charged for that? And he was like, it was a violent rape with that girl, like from what I was hearing.
Oh yeah, he was arrested and everything.
He was.
I think he paid her
Hmm.
off and got out of it. But yeah, he was charged.
Was he?
Talking about he
Was he
didn't know.
inebriated? Was he drunk, or he was just his regular self?
Now that I don't know.
I think he just raped her.
Hmm.
Claimed she was coming on to him. He thought that it was consensual, but he left her bloody.
Yep. And
Oh,
remember, this was anally. He did that anally.
Yep.
So,
did he?
Yep.
hmm
No, no. That was see. That's another thing too. People be thinking all them rich people and these.
yeah.
I mean, she probably was like, "Oh, it's Kobe," just like smiling at him. You know how people do? They meet a celebrity, and he mistook that for consent of some kind, and basically raped her. Yeah. So, hmm.
Oh no, that's so sad.
So yep,
God.
that probably explains why you didn't care for him like that.
Yeah,
See?
my spirit didn't take him. I didn't. Mm. Like, I mean, I felt bad for the daughter.
Hmm. I kind of felt bad for Vanessa a little bit because anytime like what they kept doing, I just couldn't imagine what she was going through after losing her husband and daughter, and then like anything Cobra related, they just tweeting her or putting it in her comments and stuff on IG, and it's just I'm like, this lady is trying to grieve. Y'all think she want to see pictures of her daughter and her husband who just died? Like, there is no emotional intelligence around here, child. I tell you that. But hi, Ashley. So before we head out, did anybody else have any more tea? Thank y'all much for sharing y'all tea, honey. Any more tea?
Sip, sip.
Well, Ashley, honey, you came in as soon as we're about to shut it down. So, but thank you. She got asking for a mic, so she might have some. Oh no, Queen might have some tea, honey. Hey, my Libra Queen.
Hey y'all, I real quick, I know this is so random, but I just saw this post. Have y'all heard of the Live Lawyer app? that a black woman just made?
No, but I saw that post about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm real excited. Like, I don't know why this filled my spirit. I was just like, oh, you know what? Black women.
Okay.
Black women.
Saving people again.
I love that phrase. I love it. That's all I had. I hope you guys are having an amazing day.
Yes, and just so for people who don't know, the Live Lawyer app, it was created by a black woman for because she created it from what I read because her son kept he bought a new car and kept getting stopped by the police. So what this app does is it instantly connects you if you get pulled over, it'll instantly connect you to a video call with your lawyer. So I thought that was pretty cool and
What?
very necessary. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Instant
nice.
re- instant representation. And I think in the video that I'm just seeing, she was saying that she's working on it being I guess like voice activator or voice command, because you know a lot of times when you're in the car they be telling you not to move and not to touch shit. So you can do it via voice command, kind of like Siri. And it'll automatically connect you with somebody who's on a lawyer who's on standby to represent you, and then like you can set it to contact uh whoever you want to be contacted as far as like POCs, persons to contact, or ICE in case of emergency type situation, which I think is amazing.
I agree.
This gave me a happy feeling, because the way that the upcoming year is about to be, yeah, I don't want no smoke with nobody.
Okay. Look, like I said, honey, black women saving the world. You know I stand for black women, honey. I love black women. Y'all are my sisters. I love every last one of you. Well, not all of y'all, because I definitely don't like that scissor girl. But
You know she going on tour.
I sure did, honey. I saw, and I was like, Kendrick, ain't know nobody else that could have gone with him. Cause girl. But look, if he like it, I love it, honey. But does he know that she can't sing?
I
Anyway,
don't think he do.
middle finger to scissor, honey. I don't. Mm-mm.
Here comes that.
Ashley, hey Pooh.
Hello. I just sent the announcement to my cousin over Thanksgiving. We were talking about the first concert that she might get the chance to go to. All I was looking at was the lady, but I thought on second thought maybe this is not the concert for a youngin. She's like, I don't know, 13, 14. Like, wait, maybe that is not appropriate. Let's try again.
I
Let's
Yes,
try again later.
a little young for that concert.
yeah.
That's a shame.
Even though the 13-year-old girl, because I know because my 13-year-old cousin grows up for that non-singing girl, and I'd be like, oh honey, but yeah, I don't think, especially with Kendrick being there, you know what's going. I mean, unless
Hmm.
are you okay with them like hearing profanity or are the parents okay with it? I don't know because you know
I
it's gonna be
don't
lots of
know.
it.
I don't know. She said like she doesn't like a lot of artists, but she likes drill rappers. And her dad said,
Oh
"There's no way I'm taking you to a drill rap festival or whatever. There's something happening in
heck
Chicago."
no,
And he was like,
exactly.
"Absolutely not." So if he said absolutely not, I'm wondering, if this is any better.
Well, no, it definitely is, honey. Because when it comes to drill, yeah, SZA and Kendrick is, even though I don't like the girl, she's still much safer than a drill concert.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, we'll see. I put it out there. I was like, if you want her to have a chaperone, I'll go with her. But we'll see.
But yep,
Tosh
double
back here
check.
talking about what? What? Five?
Hey,
That is he
hi
cannot
Kai,
hear
hi
you. Hold
buddy.
on. Hold on. Say
All
it
right.
again.
Bye, Auntie.
Hi, Kai. Hi, buddy.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye, Marcia.
Oh, bye, Marcia.
Well,
Um,
well, thank y'all for coming to sip tea with me. Like we will be, I will be back tomorrow. So we will have a show tomorrow. And thank y'all for when I tell y'all I appreciate your support more than you can imagine. Thank y'all, because like I said before, if I didn't have y'all to support me, I wouldn't have a show. So thank y'all for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang with me, to sip tea with me. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a fabulous rest of your day.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Chong, chong, chong.